Yeah. uh-huh. Yeah. Shit. Grams leaders CC's, pounds. Close cash, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds of leaders of grams, get your dosed up, cut this up, post up, and get dosed up. This for him voted like the movement, make the most of. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates, for them folk they can't relate. I gotta elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that deaf, dumb, and blind. And I ain't hard to find, you can catch me in those trenches. I do the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm relentless for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that true serum hooked directly to your vein. Hey, this is for my people, tune in, catch it close up, close up, close up. Now close up, grams of it, tune leaders of it, close up, pounds of it. Pounds of it, yeah, grams of it, liters up, pounds, get your dosed up, dosed up, dosed up, dosed up, dosed up, dosed up, dosed up.
Yeah. Alright, we back at you. We've been gone for a minute. But I'm Shooter, aka Dose. This is Monday night. The show is dosed up. That's Lab on the ones and twos.
That's right.
We back at you. We got a lot to talk about tonight, because we ain't seen you for a couple of weeks. But the weekends and the time that I had while I was gone, like I say, took a flight to Syracuse, man.
I saw that.
And then I had to Uber on down to Hamilton, New York.
Okay.
And then I got a chance to see my little buddy, my little twin, my daughter.
Okay.
Walk across the stage, get a degree, and bring it on home.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a good moment, man. I felt great because just the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? I did some things that I don't do a lot.
Okay.
Fly and all that other stuff.
Did she graduate from HBCU?
Huh?
Did she graduate from HBCU?
No. That's like a little Ivy League.
Okay.
Type of ordeal,
Okay.
Hamilton is predominantly the other.
Okay.
So, I mean, literally, I was in a hockey gym. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They send people to the hockey league.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the jerseys and the banners. I'm like, okay, interesting. I would have gone to a game if I attended that school.
Okay.
For sure, just seen one of them or something like that.
Okay.
But the weather was crazy. But other than that,
have you ever been to New York?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and New Jersey.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, it kind of reminded me of Piscataway to a degree. Like, I mean, rural, just not the city.
Okay.
So way off from the city, and it was just interesting to see, a different landscape. And like I said, seeing her walk across the stage. After that, we ended up going to this mall called Destiny Mall.
Okay.
That shit was huge. And they had like a cheesecake factory in there. So we just had like a little celebration there too. And then brought it on back. Did another thing for the people that couldn't, catch flights. That was a nice little get together too. Gathering. But she actually had to do a speech. So I'm proud of her.
I'm proud of her too. I ain't never met her. Any successful young black child, black woman.
And, I mean, that's a congrats to all the graduates out
all
there.
The graduates.
Yeah, and parents that are pushing education.
Right.
And I think that's just the right thing to do, man.
Yeah, I think because a lot of times we don't. A lot of times they try to tell us that we crashing out and all that, and all our children ain't crashing out.
No,
a lot of our children are being successful at this thing and making strides to have a better future. So I'm gonna commend them all every day. You know what I'm saying?
And
just
taking advantage of the educational system.
They're taking advantage of it. Yeah,
like whatever grants they can get.
And that might be why they're trying to take it.
That is why, man.
Too many black folks trying to take advantage of
it. Yeah. I mean, and
Ms. Mix-a-Lot say, "Welcome back."
Appreciate that. And my daughter told me, she was like, excuse me, what if she tried to, apply this year to this particular school? She said it probably won't work. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, you got up out of there just in time.
Just in time.
4 straight. And then she mentioned that at one time she wanted to transfer.
Uh-huh.
And then she was like, well, I have a scholarship, so I might as well just tough it out. You know what I'm saying? And rather than try to transfer and do all of that. So
Right.
But yeah, it's over with, you know.
Well, she made it through successfully. Got that diploma in her hand. Nah, probably sky's was the limit before that, but now sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Oh, I still been in the gym, as a matter of fact,
Uh-huh.
on my challenge. That, like I
Okay.
say, that Super Bowl challenge, you keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I feel great. You know, a lot of things I can do that I've always been able to do,
Right.
and I'm proud of that. You know,
Right,
I'm
right.
not losing it. I'm just
Enhancing it, right?
Exactly. You know, getting up early now doesn't really. I'm not tired
Okay.
or lethargic. You know what I'm saying? I got energy to at least get through the workday.
Uh-huh.
And then I think the training, man, it builds stability, man, and definitely discipline. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm reaching that 5 month, getting ready to be 6 month mark. So I feel like I need to train for a year, probably even more.
Yeah.
But that year is I spent a whole year, you know what I'm saying, doing one thing consistently. And you're going to see the results. You're going to feel the results. So I'm pushing that.
Okay.
You know, I got friends now. They still doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell, like, that's the thing. This type of thing, you can't lie about it.
You can't lie through it, right?
Yeah. And if you shortchange yourself.
Right.
What's up, Bangum? I see you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all. Oh, and we about, like I say, soon we're gonna start getting content.
Okay. But you know, one thing that you I thought you were about to touch on, but you kind of didn't. How exercising it clears your mind too. It's one of those things that helps. I believe that exercising can help with some depression. Like it can. It's
therapeutic.
When I was doing it, it was like my mind was a lot clearer than I am now. So it is a therapeutic thing. It's very therapeutic. I don't think people realize those benefits of just, besides what we're going to talk about, the vanity of it, but the mental aspect of it as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
The mental aspect of it, because it takes discipline. And people be like, it's no pain, no gain. But it's not like pain where you having surgery or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a soreness that you would have if you hooped all day.
Right.
Or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and it actually starts feeling good, because now you know you have strength in those areas that you need strength in as you get older because of atrophy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It gets difficult for people to start standing up and sitting down. They skip walking up the stairs. They always got to take the easy route.
Right.
And after a while, your body adjusts to that and you become weak. So now when you have to do it, it's a struggle.
Okay.
Or you hurt yourself, or you feel pain because you haven't been stretching.
Right.
You know, but you can tell people certain things, and they either got to, like I say, learn through exercise or learn through rehab.
Right.
Or just don't altogether.
Right.
Take what they get. You know what I'm saying? But dealing on the flip side of it, having to help people and having seen people that have to go through rehab and see people that want to walk, that can't, and they try.
Right.
I would say you might want to do a little bit of exercising, you know what I'm saying, through all of it.
Right. Okay.
At least stretching. Because they have senior exercises too. So, you know, we understand you're not going to be pushing no 45 plates at 60, 70 and stuff, as far as if you haven't done it before. You know what I'm saying? No, but you can stretch. You can, you know, walk.
So since we are talking about the exercise and we got this topic today, do you think most people, I'm going to go right into it because that's what we do, you think most people take the exercise and getting in shape as being vain, as vanity, as a...
So I would say yes, some do and some don't. You actually have competitions, so you know that's definitely plays a part of it. You have people that's gonna get paid for doing it, and you know you have people that have been told they look beautiful or they look handsome or whatever all their life, so they're gonna run with it.
Right.
You know, but the definition that we were discussing about vanity is the excessive belief in one's own abilities or attractiveness when compared to others. So abilities are there as well. It ain't always just about looks.
Right.
But we're gonna be discussing a little bit of both.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, to stretch it out. But so with that being said, how we look, definitely plays a part in whether you're vain or not. Some people just don't give a damn when they go out the house.
Right.
And, they present themselves according to either how they feel or what they have. And ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, yeah, that's you.
It is what it is.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of people. Shit. That's me from
Right.
time to time. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to present myself, like I say, if I don't have it, not in a way like I do, but just respectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't going to be running around here angry, taking out nothing because I ain't vain today. I ain't feeling it today. I'm not feeling, you know what I'm saying, how I want to look today or something like that.
Right, right.
But I'm realistic with it as well. That's what curbs the vanity part.
Mm-hmm.
But now, as far as when you were saying leading into as far as the exercising, yeah, a lot of people, because that's now becoming trending, as well as it still has youthful benefits, health benefits, longevity benefits,
Right.
disciplinary benefits. It does crank up a level of vanity or a level of competition. To people say, well, my workout might be better than theirs. You know what I'm saying? Or do this like me. You see what I'm saying? All these other folks running around doing this, or they talking about this product, but this is what you should be doing, And depending on what kind of support they get, it builds up their ego even more.
Right, right. And that right there, I think ego and vanity are kind of attached to each other.
Yeah, clearly.
They're, I think you can't have one without the other. To be honest with you, I mean, once you get that vanity and you get them likes, like you say, and them compliments, that ego start getting a little bit bigger. You know what I'm saying?
See, the thing too is though you putting in work if you exercising.
Okay.
Now, I did discuss. We were talking offline about the enhancements. We're not gonna get to that yet, but we just saying you putting in work. So quite naturally, you are going to be assessing yourself and realizing you have a goal of maybe what you want to look like or what you want to lift or how you want to feel, how fast you want to be able to run, how many miles, whatever it is that your goal is, you set that and you can see that and you're working towards that. Well, other people can too.
Right.
I mean, depending on if you display it, sometimes you don't have to display it. It's just going to show because of physics. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And with that being said, you're going to get a compliment or two because if someone else isn't doing it. But now I have seen vanity wherein somebody will say, oh, well, you need to be doing it like this. But you ain't even doing it. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Or I used to do this.
Right,
or
right.
I bet you can't do this and that. You see what I'm saying? And then I'm like, but bruh, like, okay, well, show me.
Right.
You know how we get down, like
right. That's that part of vanity that a lot of people don't talk about. When somebody is challenging you or telling you that do it like this or I used to do it like that. That might be that quality of being worthless and futile in vanity. They might, because you looking good, you doing such a great job at what you're doing. They might be feeling worthless, and that's vanity too. You get what I'm saying? That's that's vanity too. That's a part of vanity too. So that might be that negative part of vanity.
Well, it's clearly in how we act. We were talking about how we look, but definitely in how we act.
Right.
That plays a part in it too. A lot of times you really see it subtly, but now it's kind of the norm. But when you see like these young women or women pulling up at spots or whatever, it's always
right.
Look at me. So, and then always trying to get the right shot, the right angle, or the right filter. So I'm like, are you trying to be perfect? I mean, like, just take the damn pick, if anything. You know what I'm saying? Because, sometimes us guys, we be places, we do the same damn thing. But, I ain't, just take the pick and be done with it. You know?
We guilty. Let me tell you something. Men are probably more guilty of it than women. I believe, in my own opinion, because we don't necessarily want you to see that stomach. I know.
They be taking headshots.
Right.
Or showing the pass or some shit. Or showing money.
We just as guilty
in a
of it
car.
as women. Right.
Yeah. I mean, But that's the thing. Like I say, vanity ain't got no gender. It's gonna be for whoever feels the need to be that way. Mm-hmm. Like you find beauty within yourself, but that's another thing I want to get at. Like, there's nothing wrong with being vain, but you also have beauty within, like the way you respect and treat other people. Mm-hmm. You maybe not, you don't use your looks to shit on people or to abuse situations, manipulate people. You know what I'm saying? Fool them into doing things, backdooring people or something similar to that for the young folks that might be, you know what I'm saying, tuned in. That's a part of like the acting, you know what I'm saying? Like, I look at it like, because we talked on a previous episode, yeah, we're gonna be attracted to looks, obviously.
Right.
You might want to pump your brakes and take the time out to know what you're looking at. Mm-hmm. Because nowadays, you can judge some books by a cover, you know what I'm saying, depending on how much wisdom you have and how you can deal with body language and the way people are looking at you and things like that. Some people got the gift to determine that.
Right.
But for those that don't, then, man, just ask the right questions or take your time.
Yeah, I had a conversation with somebody long time ago. Mm-hmm. And they were saying, when I meet somebody, I look for one thing, and I say, yeah, but you were attracted to that person by what you saw on the outside, by your vainness of how that person looked. That's what you were attracted to. Now, you may have got to know that person based off your conversation once you start talking to them, but your initial contact and your initial reason for meeting them was because of how they looked on their outward appearance. You can't go and look at somebody and be like, they got a good soul. That's just not. I wish it was possible.
No. You're right. But you can look at them and be like, oh, they ratchet.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And which is another thing. Okay, so if you choosing a particular like if something for vanity purposes, then or you get what you choosing. Like, you can't necessarily complain because that's what you were attracted to. Besides getting to know how someone acts. Right. And if you can see if they act in vain, that's even another sign for you. Like, I don't know, would you be comfortable if you pretty much, let's say you going out on a date or you going out with a young woman and she, just the phone on her every chance she can get, like picture.
Nah, that ain't cool.
Okay, exactly. And then looking at herself, not even on an app or something, just looking at herself all the time. Okay.
Trying to pick the picture she gonna use and post.
So that mean, that might be what young people do, but that ain't what we on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not doing that. So, but that is, then I'm looking at it, okay, like a lot of the times we're going from maybe being confident in the way we look to objectifying ourselves by the way we look. Because, like, obviously how we dress, but the objectifying is to treat a person like a tool or a toy, or as if they have no feelings, opinions, or rights of their own. And, people will complain maybe about certain attention they get sometimes based off what they're doing or what they're wearing. And it look obvious, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course people are going to say these things if you got, let's just say, a shirt on with this cut out. You're gonna, but you don't want anyone to say anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, I'm like, what triggers you to do that?
Right.
And like, you're objectifying yourself with that part of your vanity, I'm assuming.
And we talked about this off air. I think those things are attached to financial gains when you come to that. But something that we didn't talk about and we haven't touched on, we will touch on. Well, we're going to touch on a little bit now. Is that I think that a lot of these things that we're dealing with now, this particular part of the conversation, we talk about financial gains when it comes to vanity and looking a certain way and objectifying yourself has a lot to do with social media, because we did not necessarily have. It might have been going on, but it wasn't so much in your face as it is now. And a lot of times you go on the explore page and that's all you see sometimes, or you don't even that type of stuff you don't even look at. You may be looking at, let's say, DJing, or you may be looking at how rap or whatever, as far as when it comes to the industry, and that stuff still pops up in your feed. And it's just like this lady
yeah.
with the first thing she does is her titties first,
Yeah,
or ass first pictures, or she's shaking her titties. And,
and you're gonna look.
And you're gonna look, and then you go to the
and
comments.
Women will look at it too.
And you go to comments and it's thirst traps. But the first thing that person says is, "Don't look at me like that." But this is the picture you.
But then you have
out.
those that are asking you to look at them and be like, rate them,
mm-hmm.
or be like, do I look too fat or do I look too skinny? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's where I go with the delusional vanity, kind of like.
Slick said, should you not be able to wear what you want? It's not. I don't think it has anything to do with wearing what you want.
It does, yeah.
I think it's more of the fact that when you wear those things, and then the things that you do after you wear them, like if you got your
you're twerking all out,
right, and then you don't want nobody to comment
fanning
on
your nipples,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And zooming in on it, come on, like I mean, we get it.
There's a lot attached to that,
exactly.
Or guys wearing speedos because they know they got a
something
big
like
print,
you know,
and they post that so everybody
and they
can see.
moonwalking and a slamming the basketball,
right.
Oiled up and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get it, y'all.
Right. We understand.
Exactly.
Right. Those are the things when you use what you wear to get attention, not necessarily good attention, but just try to get all the attention for financial reasons. It's just the way it goes.
But also, but here's the funny thing. They'll take some of that money that they're making and modify themselves.
Right.
Just through the vanity and through surgery sometimes or enhancements. And dudes be getting steroids and all these supplements, or they get surgery and whatever they do with the abs and everything else.
Okay.
And you know, I'm like, hey.
Right.
You know, even with accessories, now they got the man units out. And they got wigs and beards too. You know, but that to me, it's almost like you on a Hollywood movie set or something. You know, you're making yourself into a character.
And the first thing they'll say is when you ask them about the enhancements that they get, "Oh, I'm doing this for me."
Oh, you are?
That's
right. Okay, well then, if you were doing it for you, then you would just be what you are because that's for you. But I mean, a lot of us do things for the looks and appreciation from other people. I mean, we human,
and we may do it inadvertently. We may do it inadvertently,
and sometimes intentionally. You know, I mean, because you might want to attract somebody.
Right. And Slick said these are things people do to catch your eye. True.
Yeah, and when they catch your eye, they can't complain about whose eyes they're catching. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't like it when people looking at me a certain way. Well, you walking around looking like that, or you got a jealous man on your side that can't take your vanity, and he crash out over you.
So they said that the enhancement because basic just don't do much anymore.
But basic is beautiful. Basic is natural.
Right.
Basic is easiest to maintain. Basic is going to age naturally, as opposed to the plastic. You don't know how that may end up depending on the proportions of the rest of your body. But if you keep it natural and you continue to exercise or do whatever it is that you do, at least you know that's going to be what it is. But now, and that goes for, like I say, dudes who be taking them steroids and be trying to get blown out the frame. Like, you can't lift but so much at
one time.
Not only that, but at a certain age after a while, you gonna shrink. Yeah, that's just how it go. And you're gonna look crazy because you blew your body out the frame more than it should with some growth hormones or whatever it is that they be taking. You know what I'm saying? I don't even be doing no creatine, bro. I just drink water, exercise,
do your natural thing.
Yep,
a natural
carb up.
It may take a little bit longer to get to where you're trying to get to. But it can be done.
But it's supposed to be a lifestyle.
Right.
That's the thing. My challenge is for a year, and so I'm gonna renew it. Basically, I mean, I'm just So, and I've been holding up. You know what I'm saying? So, but this ain't new. I want to get past, like I say, the 6-7 month mark while I'm grinding in that 8th, the 9th, the 10th month. I'm like, damn.
Right.
10 months. Oh, I had to flip the tractor tire today.
You did? Oh, okay.
Bruh, yeah. So as soon as I did this, look, as soon as I did it, I felt that
You
because I
felt
had to dip, to get it up. I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh yeah, that's why I feel like that. I hit that tractor tire.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, we were going on for all of these accessories and the enhancements. Basically, I think are stemming from your self-esteem
Mm-hmm.
and vanity, which we say the ego is attached to. Definitely, I would say self-esteem would be somewhere along the lines of, you know what I'm saying, leading into what will feed that ego.
Right.
Or what would, when you were saying you felt like you might be worthless as well, because
Uh-huh.
that's part of the vanity too.
Right.
And so feeling the need to prove something
Mm-hmm.
or be the opposite, I guess.
Right. Vanity, when it comes to ego, and again, I'm attached social media to this, runs the gambit of things, because you got to think about when you post something on social, it may not even be a picture of you, it may just be something.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you don't get the likes you think you should get, and you take it down, that's a vanity issue.
Yeah. You want to edit it or put it back,
Right.
put something back up, like, oh,
Right.
they ain't feeling this. But see, that's the thing, like, when you just live your life for yourself,
Right.
you put it up and don't care. But see, that's the thing though. Most people are gonna look at what they put up first.
Right.
Because if I put it, I ain't gonna put up a stupid looking picture if I can help it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
most people won't want to. But that makes sense to me, you know. But now the vain part is obsessively putting up the good you all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You wearing a shirt of yourself and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Wearing
Like,
the shirt of yourself. Okay.
hey man, you be surprised, man. And it's like it leads to being all about you
Mm-hmm.
and all about your looks.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, some young folks might go for that,
Right.
obviously, because you know they be all in and out the DMs and in the comments. But I think the level of what we reveal, as far as what we're willing to show, is how vain we are, and the clothes that we wear, has definitely changed. At least in like our media, because
Right.
if you look at shows like Girlfriends and then Living Single back in the day, they whatever was considered provocative was probably a navel and maybe just a little bit of a cut blouse or something.
Right.
Now you got to be in your drawers.
Damn
you see
near.
what I'm yeah, you see what I'm saying? So, and I'm like, man, and it's, to me, it's triggering more women that feel like, hey, I'm beautiful too. I got a better body than these celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
So boom, here we go.
Right.
And now everybody want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you have when you might have somebody like, let's say Lizzo at first, and she started doing it. Now everybody want to do it, you know.
Right. And she
after a while,
started
it just
out
gets
saying
tasteless.
how beautiful her body is. So we have to think about
Yeah, but
how what her mental status was, because she always, when she first came out, she's like, big is beautiful, just as long as you're healthy, blah, blah, blah. And she went and did a whole 360 transformations.
Which I definitely salute her for, as far
Right.
as dropping that, 'cause I
But
know
my
that's hard
question
to do.
is, was it dropped naturally or was it dropped enhancedly?
You never know.
Was it a
But
hand-
yeah, if it's natural, then I'm all for that. 'Cause
Right.
That's you know what I'm saying, BBG shit right there.
Right.
We no chemtrail, you know what I'm
Right,
saying,
right.
all natural. But if you tinkered around a little bit, man, nah, we only chisel
Right.
with iron.
Right.
That's it. We don't use scalpels.
Like you got that
and
marble
we
got to be
don't
chiseled
use
out
no-
slowly.
Yeah.
Right.
And we ain't using no capsules or nothing like that. But
So they say Monique did the same thing.
hey man, if I just see them with some weights and running and jogging and jump roping and stuff, that's
Right.
all I'm on. You know what I'm saying?
You're not gonna worry
give me
about the
that.
rest. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't know. But
And
now,
I think-
if I knew, that's just not what I promote.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I think being healthy and exercise and all that good stuff is a great thing.
Mhm.
I believe it needs to be, and it needs to be promoted more because, like we said, the exercise part helps your mental as well.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that we understand that when these people or celebrities or whoever the case may be drop all this weight suddenly, quickly, and then we think, and then the vanity comes in that we think, well, we need to do that too, and we start trying to figure out how they do it. What can I get to do it?
Oh wow, yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
The influence of vanity on the common person when it comes from celebrity. We don't. A lot of people don't talk about that part of vanity. That celebrities omit vanity, and then it influences a lot of people around them.
And that's where I'm gonna jump to this. Then I was gonna do something, but now I'll just say a lot of us are starting to choose the body over morals and intelligence. Like, ooh, just look at the body. Look at the body. We don't care what they did to get it, or who, know what they had to endure, if they smart or not. Like, it's just if you can even relate to them, it's just look at their body.
Right.
So, I appreciate the people that take the time out to explain what they do and why they do it and how they do it, and put up diet plans from time to time. That's dope.
Right.
That's awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I salute that. But those, like you say, that may just influence, but leave it up to skeptical of what they got going on. But you're a heavy influencer, and like you said, you came out vain one way, and you still are pushing it, but a different way now that you've changed. Then I think if you influence people on one end, you should explain how what's up.
Right.
But I mean, everybody doesn't take that accountability.
Right.
So,
and celebrities have a lot more influence over a lot more people, and they can influence vanity over these people. That's why you think a lot of celebrities do fashion design
and model and stuff
and
like
clothes
that.
And stuff, because they know they can influence people to be vain. And if they see this celebrity wearing that, if they get 1 million people to buy that's successful.
So now, I would say thirst traps definitely fall in the vanity category, because basically the whole thing is for thirsty men or women. You know what I'm saying? You putting bait out there. So, and it happens sometimes in public places, like. Well, now it's be a lot of memes when women are in the gym or dudes are in the gym. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I don't really think it's thirst trappish when you're in the gym, but I just be like, damn, you wearing that?
Right.
Okay, I mean, I can't do nothing. I'm here just exercising.
Right.
Mean, but okay, you got on like a cheerleader skirt, or whatever, and you damn near got on like got on a track uniform, almost like, hey, more power to you.
Right.
Like I say, I really be focused on my workout, but sometimes it's like you have to be mature about the situation if you're gonna be vain and seriously, and understand that if you're gonna be wearing these things in certain places, you stand out.
Okay.
And is it appropriate though? Is your vanity appropriate in certain places, like for the work area? Like, do you need to be wearing something super, super tight when you at your profession, when you in your profession? In
your profession,
that's now you're kind of like exhibiting yourself when it's not necessary or in the proper environment. And I see a lot of that though. You know what I'm saying? You just be like, man.
Well, I mean, you got now where you have the nurses wearing the tightest scrubs that you can see now, like the tightest scrub in the world now. I mean,
yeah. I mean, but
the surprise has been taken out of a lot of things. It's a surprise.
Well,
so they said the gym is for pics and videos with tights and no drawers.
Okay, and she's exactly right. Basically, I mean, and hey, I'm in there to exercise. That's all I can say.
But then they come in there like that, and they don't want you looking at them.
You can't help but see them. First of all, I'm like, man, I don't want to run you over with this sled, and you're running in front of me or beside me.
Right.
So you gotta lift. You lifting. I'm lifting. I mean,
right.
Shit.
It's a distraction what you have on. You know this.
Man, see,
most people know that it's a
distraction.
distraction.
This the thing. It's really not.
Maybe not for you.
Because them weights be distracting me, bro. Like, here's the thing.
I'm talking about other people.
I feel you. But my thing is, I'm not finna drop nothing on my foot. First of all, looking at nothing. Mm-hmm. And I'm not, I gotta focus on what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Rather than, you can't, okay, so how you gonna live like this? You
right, right.
Or push up.
But people do it. You
if
know,
they
people
do, that's them. I mean, if you can manage that, great. I mean, I ain't
talking about what.
But see,
those will do. We talking about.
But here's the thing:
the average person.
I look at it as some courtesy too. Like, people want to be able to exercise and feel comfortable.
Right.
Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? You can't be burning no hole in the back of their head. Like,
right.
Yeah, wait, go ahead and do them bend over rolls.
Right.
No, bro, like, I'm be looking like, man, let me make sure my weight right.
They tights on with the crack of the booty and they're splitting the cheeks as they run on the treadmill. Then what we got going on then?
What I got going on is this is the thing. I'm looking at how much time I got because I'm jogging and I'm like, shit. I need to make it through. So that's what I'm focused on. Bro.
Right.
I'm focused on. It's a bag in front of me with money, and that's what I'm doing in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Going for that. I just keep to myself.
Keep it going that way.
The faster I get through with these exercises, I still go home at the same time. So, but you know what I'm saying? I feel accomplished.
Okay.
So distractions, no, I'm not distracted.
Okay.
And it's really, I don't I don't see a level of vanity like that per se where I'm at because everybody is doing some training in a way where you got some athlete type shit. So with that being said, they focused, you know, they're not there to be entertaining you. They there to get their grind on, and that's what they be doing.
Slick says ass cracks, camel toe,
moose knuckles, all that. Yeah.
It keeps the people who want to work out, they shy away. You think?
Shit.
Like the plus size people.
No. The plus size ones be in there grinding too, and we encourage them. I'd be like, hell yeah, push that, man. Go ahead and do them sumo squats. You can do it. Okay. Like, don't give up, man. Keep going. Yeah, like, it's respect for everybody in there.
Right.
Because you working, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's you ain't stepping through them doors and not putting in some kind of work and sweating and grinding and coming out looking better or feeling better and feeling a certain way. But now, okay, so after we move from the thirst traps, now this is kind of like in the subliminal because it's like, what do the men want and what do women want? You see, which kind of produces vanity from within. Like, if you know what women want and you working on that, you know what I'm saying, then you're going to enhance that. You're going to you're going to have beliefs in your own abilities with that.
Right.
So, with some guys, it might be their beard or their waves, you know what I'm saying? Or might be the charisma that they got. They're going to practice on their jokes. Some dudes be hitting the gym, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is that they feel like women want. Okay. And then you can see the same for what men want as far as what women think they want. But what I also see is when you have a level of, it's not even vain, but it doesn't matter what they want. It's what you want. And what you see is basically within what I want to look like or what I want to feel like. And you already know based off of what it looks like, because if you're a vain person, it's going to look good.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think facelifts is, like say we just old, we getting older, and somebody goes to get a facelift, get their skin tightening. Do you think that's in vain?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit. Yeah. Because, I mean, why not let nature do what it does? Unless it's something of an ailment that you need to correct.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, I mean, I would recommend get more sunlight, get more rest, run some, drink some water, and see what you can do. Before you get to that. You see what I'm saying? Tighten up your skin, like run,
work
sweat. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And because if you think about it, if you do something for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, you've built up the particular muscle mass and muscle memory that you solid. So now all you do maybe it's just push-ups. You don't necessarily lift weights, but even your push-ups, you've been doing push-ups, let's say for 10, 15 years straight.
Mm-hmm.
When you're older, you do them and you still might be tight. You
Mm-hmm.
won't really you be sagging. You see what I'm saying? And especially if you do your cardio.
Right.
You try to stay lean and you keep your skin tight.
Mm-hmm.
Sunlight definitely helps with that too. For me,
Right.
sweating, you know what I'm saying? But if you don't,
Mm-hmm.
who knows what might happen? I've seen.
You gotta have the consequences of that action.
Yeah, yep. Like you know, some people they they don't want to do that like that. You see what I'm saying? And it won't do that if it's muscle
Mm-hmm.
or if it's just, you just skinny. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you have some mass,
Mm-hmm.
even if you exercise, if you still don't do the cardio or eat right, then that still may happen because it's just gonna be solid fat, pretty much.
Right.
That's what mass is to me. Mass ain't muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Muscle is or lean muscle mass. You see what I'm saying? You can have big mass of muscle, but more than likely, if you done ate beef and all this other stuff to get that, then it's gonna kind of be flab when you start working out, or you're not gonna see it defined.
Right. I get what you're saying. Yeah. Let me ask you another question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can go to the extreme parts of vanity. Like, you know, at one point there was this thing where people were getting their leg bones stretched, short people to try to be taller.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like that, like it's a painful process, but that was something they were doing because, of course, you know, when you're shorter, you're not as attractive as someone that may be taller. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, you had a lot of short people going. I forget where they were going. It was over in a whole another country, getting boned and their bones stretched or extended to be taller. You know what I mean? What spectrum do we? Because that's a painful process.
So that's what I was gonna say. It's like sometimes your ego has to be, or your confidence has to be stronger than. Because see, if it's vain, then it is based off of looks. So you got to have some abilities then with it or whatever. Which if you're not making it in the look department, then your abilities shine through.
Okay.
Because when you have to start manipulating and hurting yourself and surgery and things like that, if it's for cosmetics, you see what I'm saying? Then I'm like, you should have the confidence not to do that.
Right.
You know, and what long-term effects would this have? What happens if you break your leg? That you see what I'm saying? It's a lot of factors that I would be factoring in with that. And you probably have to learn how to walk again almost from something like that. Rehab. You just don't know what can go wrong because you're tampering with nature, to me, the way I look at it. So, like I say, shout out to the people that are maybe considered to be short, but rocking with it.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can still be short and in shape.
Right.
You can be short and have money.
Right.
You can be short and funny. You can be short and, you know what I'm saying, a genius.
And confidence.
Really. So, I mean.
Shit, look at Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
I'm sure he don't have no problem getting women.
Yeah, but short. I mean, but everybody ain't gonna have his resources and his money.
But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Women are definitely attracted to someone with confidence. So even if you are short, you can find someone your height. There's always beautiful women that can be short or shorter than you. Exactly. So that's you find your lane and stick with it.
There you go.
And which will lead me now is a lot of times we might make bad decisions based off of good looks.
Give me an example.
Okay, you know how dudes might be willing to crash out because she look good. And don't even be her main or whatever. That's a bad decision based off of good
looks. Okay.
You know, she could be ratchet or whatever, or just, you know, I go for, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know I got a vibe now. Like, we could be bad.
Right.
Like, women definitely make bad decisions choosing us all the time.
I was gonna say, you know,
based off our looks, based off what these folks be trying to put on. These dudes, man, be trying to game these women and lying and all this other shit, making it bad for the honest dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like it's a two-way street with that. Like vanity ain't about no, like I say, just women. It's men out there that got some vein and nerve.
Mm-hmm.
And the fun. Did you know what women tell me hurt them all the time? When it be that ugly dude with confidence that they give a chance to, and he cheat.
I've heard this story before.
Yeah, so they be
they
like,
build him up, make him feel good about himself.
Like,
then...
now he done got vein. Sit your ugly head down somewhere though, you know.
Now, that's a good one right there.
But hey, man.
But it's true though.
Yeah.
I've heard women say like, he was ugly, he was dusty. I dusted him off, made him look good, and he started acting
and
brand
then
new.
see now, here's the thing: when and dudes wrong for this, and women wrong for this too. When you start, when that vain person, they use their money is part of their vanity. If that's what you're going for, you never know what you're gonna get.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, just be careful what you ask for. The money is the bait.
You know, we talk about women making bad decisions when it comes to vanity. You know, back in the 80s, late 80s, I'm gonna say 80s. I'm just gonna say 80s. You know, in Chicago, we had this thing. The girls were like, "Oh, he got curly hair and he light skinned and got gray eyes. I'm gonna have a baby by him." That's a terrible decision. You don't know what that baby. You don't know what the baby gonna turn out. The baby could turn out looking like your grandmama, who ugly as hell. But also, you don't know what type of person this man is.
Man, look, they just be going, they looking out for genes, how genes look.
Right.
And how they want their kid to look. I mean, and celebrities do that shit all the time, man. Like, once these dudes get their money, that's why you think they be trying to find foreign women and women they know they be out they reach.
Right.
When they not famous or when they don't have the money that they, you know what I'm saying, that they want. So, it build up that confidence, it build up that ego. Next thing you know, they picking and choosing.
Right.
You know, they be like, "Nah, man." You know, the women we be thinking like, "Oh, whoa, she off me."
Right.
Slick
say you have seen women who get tired of the games and vanity issues with men that turn gay.
Wow. So I got now this is kind of, we touched on it a little bit, but like complaining about how you're treated and approached, like based off what you're putting out there. And a lot of times what I have been seeing now is it's 50-50. Like, even the men and the women be like, well, I mean, with you acting like that, drunk or wearing that, you know what I'm saying? And in that environment, what you expect, you know?
Right.
So, which makes sense. But that doesn't mean whatever happens to you or whatever people are saying to you deserves to be said.
Right.
But you have to understand that the way that you're, putting it out there is triggering someone who can't control themselves.
Right. Perception.
Exactly. You see,
perception be the key. A lot of this stuff.
Yep.
You know. So yeah, I get what you're saying on that.
But now, I'm the type. I'm like, are you just as attractive on the inside as what you're exuding on the outside? Or is that a deal breaker to you? Like, to me it is. I think it is to you. Like, if they just, like, really ain't intellectual.
Right.
Really, they just basically superficial. Mainly it's about trying to have fun and look at me.
Party and and
be seen
and spend money on unnecessary
clothes,
things.
this.
But you can have a conversation about some history or
it's always a conversation about a trending topic.
Right. It's about current events or some celebrity bullshit. You can have a decent conversation about a whole bunch of other topics that not has necessarily do with anything that's vain or vanity.
Exactly.
You're just having conversation. Yeah, that's a real turn off to me. And then how nasty of a person they are.
Okay.
Their nastiness towards other people or their nastiness towards me as in general is a turn off. Like, I don't want you to, if you're nasty towards me, how bad are you towards other people that you don't consider a partner or someone you love? Like, wow.
From what I've seen and experienced, at least kind of like when I was growing up, when girls were kind of too vain amongst each other, it caused them to either talk about each other, not hang with each other,
Mhm.
and when dudes were too vain, it caused a fight. Or something like
Okay,
that. You see what I'm
okay.
saying? Like, so because I guess it's over obsessing.
Mhm.
You can over obsess, I guess, to yourself.
Mhm.
But when you start putting that out on other people, you see what I'm saying? Like downing other people, comparing yourself and belittling other people and expecting privilege based off of how good you
You
look.
are right.
Yeah, and then that's when it becomes a problem, or expecting somebody to crash out over you because how dare somebody say something or look at you, you know
A
what I'm
certain
saying?
way, yeah.
Yeah, that's when I'm like, no, you know, we can tone down on all that, you
Mhm.
know. And now you're probably, we can definitely, I know you might have questions for this because under the realm of vanity, like it seems like a lot of people are dating for looks.
Mm.
Like dating or looking for someone that compliments them as far as look wise
Mhm.
or image wise,
Right.
kind of like for like social media type purposes to
Yeah.
post all the damn time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've even seen recent couples, they ain't even been couples for a long time, and they trying that couples posting and all this other stuff, you know, and I'm like, y'all just look good together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
There's probably no substance there.
Exactly. Yeah, it is.
It's all attached to your looks and how you look in the picture. But as far as substance, but you know, a lot of those people who do those things are not even couples. They're just doing it for the likes and comments. And then once they take the picture or do the video, they go their separate ways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you have people who don't necessarily, let's say somebody makes it on social media. They viral. They making millions and millions of dollars off social media, or they getting millions and millions of likes and views. And now they get the attraction of a beautiful woman or a man that they've been attracted to, and they start dating that person. And then it becomes, you know, once they get the person that they've been attracted to for a very long time. And then they find out that person ain't necessarily fulfilling, then that becomes another issue.
Well, like I knew some dudes that they would just be trying to date the most attractive looking women that they could, not necessarily keep relationships with them, but like date them and string them along and basically be like, I got an all-star roster or something, I got a team. You see what I'm saying? And that's a vain person in itself. And you look at you dating for looks. You see what I'm saying? You going for these women that thought that they were pretty. You see what I'm saying? And kind of tarnish their vanity, to be honest with you. Like, because I could see how they would act before that. Like they had their little vain streak going on today. Met the vein buster, you know what I'm saying, the vanity buster, you know what I'm saying? It just was like, hey, let me you know, burst your bubble out here. But and I thought that was, you know what I'm saying, some slime ball type stuff to do.
And it happens.
It does, yeah. And I mean, you see it a lot of times with these rappers, to be honest with you. But that's the thing when you dating for looks. Like that's the pop the balloon thing, the whole thing right there, pretty much.
You think so?
I mean, the questions that these folks be asking, first of all, be like chopped up sentences. And then I mean, most people just pop the balloon based off of what somebody looked like. They ain't even open their mouth yet.
Oh, that's true.
So yeah, and then when they do get to talking and holding on to the balloon, it be some more intrusive sexual shit, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I just be like, man,
I think Pop the Balloon Challenge has run its course for a lot of us. I don't think it even should have been a thing. But it's one of those things where it was popular and now everybody took a hold of it. Now it's something on Netflix, and I think it's a waste of time. I really think it's a waste of your brain cells.
Yeah,
to even your intelligence, it lowers a little bit watching that, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, it's speed dating on crack. Basically.
With nobody saying speed dating on crack, with nobody saying
anything of substance.
Right.
Or any, no organization, to be honest with you.
Nobody saying when, and there is no designated driver.
Yeah, basically. So but now, hey, check this out. So this right here, I know some people do. Do you overlook certain flags or red flags because of the way someone looks?
Yes.
Oh yes,
Everybody does.
Yes, yes. It seems like the women are duped by the men more.
You think so?
Yeah, like these dudes be. We know the dudes are red flags,
Uh-huh.
but I guess the women don't.
Well, maybe they got that
But-
pipe, or they tall,
Man.
they built. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women go for that tall built, and then they show that slong, and that slong is nice size. They ain't nothing they could do wrong.
Man,
they
look,
basically
bruh.
driving her car with another woman inside of, having sex in the back seat, and she gonna be like,
Then,
I don't know
but
nothing about
then they
that.
always get their heart broken
Right.
because he gonna be on with like you just said with somebody in her own car.
Right.
You know what I mean? And hey, if that's what you want, then that's what you get.
But that's all a part of that vanity. That vanity thing, man, I think that thing is so much more toxic than a lot of topics that we've talked about when it comes to people in general and their mindset. I think that vanity and being vain is should be number one, to be honest with you, because it trickles down a lot of other shit that affects us.
Look, I think, and that's the thing, man. Like I think women want the man that all women want, and men want the
woman
that all
men want. Right.
Exactly. Like when you single or whatever, ain't nobody on you.
Mm-hmm.
When you got somebody, man, it's like a magnet.
Yeah.
Or when even you decide to talk to somebody, it's like a magnet. But when you focused on your goals, you only attracted because you making money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Other than that,
right? It's crickets.
But now is that now as soon as I start talking to a woman, everybody else gonna be like, "Who is that?" And they want to know, they want to see.
Mm-hmm.
I never really liked that or cared for that. Like,
really?
Yeah, like why you want to know who somebody else talking to when you didn't want to either talk to me or. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, I don't really give a shit but who you talking to. Like, I don't need to see your dude. Like, if you're just talking to somebody for all I care, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Keep us distant. So I'm like, you don't really need to be in my business like that. You know? What is this, a show and tell?
I get it.
Yeah. But a lot of times, vanity, that's a part of it. They want to know if they look better, believe it or not. Or dudes be wanting to know what their competition look like.
Slick say, pretty girls burning y'all men because y'all think she too cute and fine to be nasty or have a disease you can't get rid of. Men burn women too because y'all think you're too fine and tall and he on the down low.
Oh man, either that or running through the pretty women that you talking about.
There you go.
So
the pretty man is running through the pretty woman and everybody getting diseases.
Hey man, I mean like. That's what's going on. That's why I'm saying this vanity thing, man. Like it's people just going for looks and going for money and just going for lust. Like, oh, shawty right there look good. I ain't gonna pop my balloon. I'm serious.
But she can't even tell you what's 2 + 2.
No, exactly. Well,
you
know what I'm saying? What's 4 + 4. First thing she asked, are them diamonds real?
Yeah.
Or something like that. How much money that is?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, oh man, but that's what you see. And then they be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna keep her, and her friend." Like, what do you show? And next thing you know, you got what Slick was talking about: a disease or a baby.
Right.
One of the two, probably both. But all right. So I'ma say that's another thing. Would you alter your appearance for a job or a relationship when it comes? Neither would I. But no. I got a haircut one time. That was about it.
Oh, so we talking about haircuts? Okay, yeah, I get a haircut. If I still had hair, I would get a haircut. I mean, even now with my bald head, I shave my head to try to look a little better and trim my beard up. So I don't know if that's an enhancement. Is that more enhancement or more grooming? Like taking a shower. Like if we're gonna call that enhancement, we got to say taking a shower is an enhancement too. Washing your ass is an enhancement too.
All right, check this out. Let's say you engaged or whatever.
Okay.
Or you married, whatever. And your wife got hair to her shoulders.
Uh-huh.
All right, when you go to work in the morning, her hair was to her shoulders. When you come back home from work, she got a Sinead O'Connor.
Okay.
And didn't tell you. How would you feel about that?
Well, if we talk about my wife, I'm not going to feel no type of way because for one, she should be able to do what she want to do with her hair.
I got
But
you.
two, I love her. By this time, if I'm married to her, I know a little bit more about her than being just worried about her hair. Now,
Now I'm gonna be 100% transparent.
Yeah.
I am a breast man.
Okay.
And if I'm with somebody and they got breasts and they decide to reduce them things, we gonna have a real harsh discussion. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
you
vain
like the pillows.
that.
You want them pillows,
Right?
huh?
If they get reduced to A's or B's, we gonna have some issues.
I hear you. I hear you.
I'm being transparent on this.
Okay. I mean, I'm like this. You should be able to do what you want.
Right.
But I would just be like, whoa, okay.
Right.
I know you gonna do that, but okay, whatever.
You should be able to do what you want, but I'm still gonna have a very, very stern talking to when it comes to that.
Do you think Vanity has a price limit?
For the average person, yes. For people who have unlimited resources, no.
Okay. I like that answer.
I'm gonna give you a good example. Somebody's wife, one of the rappers' wife here in Atlanta, got her eye color changed permanently.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like me and you probably can't.
No.
Veneers, $50,000 a pop.
I mean,
you get what I'm saying? Those are things that us, we may be able to finance it. Then we may be able to get them. Who knows? And we don't know what each other has as far as finances is concerned. But on the average, me and you and I are not going to be able to afford a $50,000 veneer job. There's just no way it's going to happen. That's why you got all these people getting duped by these dentists who giving them a $500 veneer job and all their teeth are falling out.
Oh, wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that just seemed to be the Hollywood trend anyway, to be honest with you.
But it's trickling down to us. We're talking about Vanity and how all this trickles down to us.
And see, at some point, man, you could be vain with your own identity, which really now, I mean, kind of gives you an advantage because if you're different, and when I'm speaking vain, I mean you just have confidence in yourself. I ain't talking about you're comparing yourself to be better than others.
Okay.
So I'm just like, like I said, we all have a little bit of vanity to ourselves, but we're not pushed to the point where we're exhibiting ourselves.
Right.
Like, all right, so. But with that being said, man, there's definitely price limits, and just certain things that I feel like if it's trending, you don't necessarily need to do it. I mean, do things when you need to based off of age, because that was the next thing I was going to say. Does Vanity have a age limit? And it doesn't, depending on how you take care of yourself.
Right.
But it still does for those people that you said even have enough money for veneers. They might be bald or still have wrinkles in their face.
Right.
You can't get rid of that. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? Or a sagging body. So it's always something that you can't undo with nature or that you can't beat. And that's where that, I would say Vanity has an age limit. But those people that do look good in their late ages have a right to hold their head high and have that vainness that they had as a youth.
Yeah, I've seen your older women, like older, beautiful, like like I thought Coretta Scott King was just beautiful older, but when I saw younger pictures of her, she was beautiful her whole life.
Oh yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Like she aged very gracefully, and she looked very beautiful in her older years and her younger years. I don't think it much changed except for maybe a little weight fluctuation. But as far as her beauty is concerned, and then she had that inner beauty too. It was just like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? That's a plus. But I've always not necessarily judged, but compared older women based off that look because I just felt like that she was just a beautiful woman.
Now I will say this, and I can understand. You can see sometimes like when a woman has had a hard life based off of the man in her life, and when a woman is being well kept by either herself or her man. You see what I'm saying? And I just be like, damn, like dudes be aging,
right?
Like if the relationship ain't right, you know what I'm saying? But and with that being said, your lifestyle. Technically, I would say that now sometimes you can learn something from the people from some vanity, like because a lot of the times, although they may be showing all, you know what I'm saying? Like basically look like they're in a G-string exercising.
Mm-hmm.
They may show their diet.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And you can be like, oh, well, that shit actually does work and it's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense. So you just learn something. And that keeps you youthful, though.
Right.
That can help. That's part of their vanity, you know what I'm saying? Formula.
Okay.
So you can, that's something that you can, you
could do.
Exactly. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be in front of the camera like them, but you can still eat a certain way.
Yeah.
Or,
Slick, I was going to ask that question. Do you think tattoos are vain?
to a degree, yeah. Or either they just display how you feel in art, or they make a statement. But some of them, the ones that are meant to be sensual or sexual, yeah. And I can say the placement of where some of them are, you know, but
like a
it's
butterfly,
not in a bad
like a
way,
girl with
though.
a butterfly tattoo on her booty.
Or with a slippery when wet. I saw that one time. Caution, slippery when wet. On the ass,
enter
bro.
here.
Wow. Okay.
I've seen that before.
Okay.
A tattoo on something that says enter here with an arrow pointing down.
I guess you know where to start, don't you? Shit, it ain't hard to find from there. But yeah, but to me, a lot of the times I think it's more art than vain, because you got to go through a particular process. It's kind of painful, and you got to know what you want permanently on you,
Right?
And you know, but people show them, so that could be a way of being vain. You know, you got to see them, but sometimes you cover them up.
Right.
You only want a certain person to see them.
Right. A lot of people start getting them removed after a certain amount of time. But I mean, I don't take issue with tattoos. I think they are what they are. I mean, the pain. I mean,
let's say if I had it to do all over again, I'd do it all over again.
Right.
I'd be sitting right here inked up, but probably with either some different tattoos or finished.
Okay.
So, but that's only because I don't know, man. It's just something about the creativity of when I see them. It's interesting. You know, it really, like, if you really go through the history of it, it can tell you stories about that person or how that person thinks. Even if it's somebody ghetto, you still gonna be seeing what they believe in. Even if you tatted and you in a gang, you gonna see, you know what I'm saying? It tells their story. So I figure like, what better way to communicate? It's like hieroglyphics to me.
Yeah, I have a couple of tattoos I want to get changed or covered up, changed to get a cover up on. But other than that, I don't think I would change the whole aesthetic of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't change the idea of a tattoo for me. You know what I'm saying? I'll keep it going. I'm not gonna get hundreds of them, but
I said hundreds.
I just can't see myself doing that. But
yeah,
especially at my age now. You know, so if I was younger, 20, 21. Of course, I probably would get a few more, but right now I'm good with what I have. You know what I'm saying?
See, I'm like, it's lifetime, man.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Shit, you never know. So live how you can and how you want.
You can.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And so also it keeps it fresh. So like I don't have to worry about, is this gonna last me? Because I keep adding to it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's gonna last me. It's gonna have to last me because I guess it's always in progress. You know what I'm saying? Which is pretty much your heartbeat.
Right.
Always in progress, always working.
Right.
That's what you want. So
let me ask a question. I know you probably got something else you want to say.
Go ahead.
Let's step away from the vanity of a person. Let's step away let's go to the vanity of objects.
Okay.
The people of objects of
like
a person may have cars,
something.
houses.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Jewelry,
like the jewelry, all that, the purses,
bank account,
shoes.
that.
Right. The object, the vanity of objectifying objects.
Materials. Well, that's what gives a lot of people, boost up some of these people's self-esteem. Because, all right, what happens if nobody cared about jewelry? And we've seen that.
Right.
We've seen that when we had the little African medallions and stuff.
Right. We talked about that.
Exactly. And really we were more intellectual
Mm-hmm.
because what you wore was more of a proud of how you thought.
Right.
Now what we wearing is more of what we trying to show you what we have.
Right.
As
Right.
opposed to how we think or how we feel or people just basically want to appear like you got a lot of money and it's new and it's trending or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we starting to look like clones because that's easily to predict and everybody wanna wear the same thing. Like I'm not gonna wear something tight just because fashion is saying wear something tight.
Wear something tight, right?
So I gotta find what's regular out there that I can, you know what I'm saying, wear while this crave go down. Like I never cared to have pants that were already ripped up because I mean if I'm paying money, man, just give me my jeans and whole.
Give me the whole pants.
Yeah, like you can't sell me no Euro look.
Right.
And tax me on it, but you ain't even using enough material now.
Right.
Because I want to get into fashion and I want to give someone some material that's worth their money. So I'm not going to half step and be like, oh, I'm going to charge you more, but you got half a leg.
Right.
You know.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think people, that you say confidence, but do you think people not only build up their confidence, but they feel better based on, like, say me, I drive a Versa. Not the most chick magnet car there is. You get what I'm saying? But once I get out the Versa, I feel confident.
Yeah.
So do you think like a vehicle or anything can necessarily make a person feel?
So
I mean, because you have these people buying cars that they can't afford. Let's be one. We talked about this though. You have people buying cars, buying these Mercedes and Lexuses and trucks that are $100,000 and they make $60,000 or $40,000 a year.
So here's how this go, man. I had to learn in life that you're gonna want things at the same time, but not be able to afford all of what you want.
Right.
So through all of this, as a guy that like women, I'm gonna want to talk to women, but I don't have a car.
Right.
So am I gonna be like, oh man, I ain't gonna talk to no women till it might take me years to get. So you have to build up the confidence to get around some of those things. Be like, okay, now you can Uber and all this other stuff. But the point is that like this, once you've established who you are, then the materials can enhance the vanity or enhance who you are even more.
Right.
Because, okay, yeah, you see me and I'm like you. I'm like, you see me in a car, but I'm not going to be in that car all the time. How do I feel when I'm not in my car?
Right.
But see, coming from not having a car to getting cars, you know what I'm saying? At some point, you already know how you feel.
Right.
So,
and it may not even be the vanity of the car. It may be the fact that I can just get up and go when I get ready to now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can
See,
get to
you
work
comfortable
on time.
now.
Yeah.
And okay, you can always say this. Oh, she may not talk to me, but she walking to work and I'm riding right on by. So either way it go, you could be a benefit to her, even, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you could get her where she needs to go quicker.
Right.
Out of the rain or whatever.
Right.
But now, if she don't like how you look, then the car don't make no difference.
That's true. That's true.
You see what I'm saying? But now, if she like how you look, the car is a plus. And sometimes not having a car can be a minus. Because let's say you want to get all jazzed up and go to a concert or whatever with her. You want to bring her flowers and all this other stuff, show up, whatever. What you going to do? You going to Uber there?
Right.
Uber to her?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? What you going to catch Marta with all that?
Right.
And then ride Marta there with her?
Right.
So, I mean...
I think Uber, bad or good, has made the art of dating a little bit better. Because I can come to you, I can date a girl and not have a car and be Ubering black to her all the time. You get what I'm saying? Like, and we go out on dates and Uber black and have a good time.
Here's the thing. It does, to me, I want to get to know you. So I'm going to be like, do you have transportation? What's your profession? Do you work?
Right.
Them just questions I'm asking. So because I need to know, do I got to come see you? Or how you getting around?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, and then a lot of that tells me the determination of a person, but it also tells me the position they in. It could be a detrimental position. You never know.
Right.
I'm trying, like I'll talk to a girl that ain't got no whip, man. But that's the thing. Nowadays, they still got options.
They do.
So I'm not crashing out over you,
right?
And you ain't even driving. So
right.
I just be like, you got that,
right?
You know
I get. They still have options. You 100% right.
Now we. On the other hand, hey man, my options gonna be limited with no car.
With
you know
no
what I'm
car,
saying? Like,
options for us are limited.
Yeah, like somebody want me to get out and go get them at 10
right.
or meet them at 9 p.m., 10 p.m. and you off Car Parkway or something. I can't be running to no bus stop, trying to jump on no bus. And then sometimes Ubering can be a trip too, depending on what you want to do. You might want to go somewhere after we eat. Now what I gotta do? Uber to that spot too now.
Right.
See,
okay, I get what you're saying.
You gotta be able to move, man.
You can move when you want to move.
Yeah, like get in that Chevy and ride out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely the materials that we were talking about, man. I've seen clothes pull women. You know what I'm saying? Clothes pull men, or lack thereof. Lack thereof.
Less pull women.
Yeah,
less
so
than more.
Yeah. So I mean, people, like I said, I think they use the watches and the chains as bait. Sometimes the hat too.
Now,
I'm not going to necessarily say watches. I mean, chains, but watches are known to start a good conversation.
I mean, because
when you're in a certain type
if you're
of
a
circles,
connoisseur,
yeah,
like certain shoes too, certain suits,
right?
I get it, almost like a cigar,
right?
But they also will know when you have messed up something that had some prestige to it, like when you done iced out something that shouldn't be,
right?
It can also make something look gaudy and tacky, yeah. Right. So I mean, it's just whatever circle you're running in with that, I'm assuming. But thing that I noticed and that I'm definitely going by now though, everything that looks good isn't necessarily good for you.
Yeah.
So like sometimes that woman that's out of your reach is out of your reach for a reason. She look good for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And it just may not be for you. You can try. Sometimes you try and you can't succeed. Sometimes you got to keep up at a pace you might not want to keep up with, spend a certain amount you don't want to spend, or be around people that you feel uncomfortable. And this also goes, it didn't even got to be with dating. All right, so I got some friends that they want to have success in a certain way so bad where they want to cut corners that, like, be careful what you wish for. Like, I really wouldn't want to hang around billionaires if I'm broke right about now.
Right.
Because if I'm not assertive enough or to be there with what I got going on,
I feel intimidated by them.
Not even intimidated, but you can't keep up with everything they doing.
That's true.
And everything ain't. If they like, people will notice if they footing the bill, even though they got billions of dollars, they're gonna notice if they paying for everything all the time because it's like a compliment. I got it this time, Thomas. Shit, I got it this time, Earl.
Yeah.
Well, I got it this time, Ned.
Right.
Well, I got it this time, Raheem. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Throw that in there. Yeah.
Right.
All right, but now
ain't nobody looking at no prices. They just order it.
Exactly. So with that being said, when you get around that circle and you have to gain entry in these places with these people, and they just walking on through because of who they are, but don't nobody really know who you are. You got to fit the bill. Like, and if you broke, it'll start. You may damage yourself more than, you know what I'm saying, do more damage than you should. So I'm like, man, okay, hang with the thousandaires and the 10,000aires and then the millionaires, right?
Right.
Get the game first, get your money up first before you get around, people that are out of your league. All right, let's say okay, we get ready to catch this flight. And then they look at you. Everybody in the clue, all right, let's catch this flight. And they on their phone, we gonna meet up right here. You were at Vegas, now we finna fly somewhere, you know what I'm saying, to Dubai. Let's get this flight together, y'all. And then everybody look at you.
Right.
And you be like, oh. Might not be on this one, y'all.
Right.
Catch me next go
Catch
round.
me on the next one.
Yeah, you know.
I get it.
So But that's when like I say, but back to the looks and the everything that look good ain't for you. Let's just say a lot of guys look for that stripper and they find her.
Okay.
Then maybe when they stuff be out on the street or they business be or the pillow talking makes things happen, or they in these little disputes and buddy, so many people trying to talk to her and buddy mad about it, Don't that come with that?
It does.
But it comes with that, but like I said, just because it look good don't mean it's good for you.
Right.
So, I'll be like, choose your vanity wisely. It's okay to be like, how can I say, confident? But now sometimes it's like, what triggers the conceit to the vanity? And I would say a lot of times it could be comments from other people or how we want other people to view us, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, most definitely comments and compliments, and even not necessarily, unflattering statements can add to that.
Well, one thing I didn't understand is, I think we hit on this in a previous episode or so, but all right, when you say something negative to a woman, like a negative slur, like, well, I ain't care about it anyway, then it's whatever, that gets their attention. Or when you be like, something about them might look off or unattractive to you, or you don't pay them any attention, and then boom, all right, you get all the attention. So I'm like, for a person that's obviously kind of vain, how does that work?
When they don't get the attention?
Yeah, but they're vain, and they are. But then why do you go for someone that's not giving you attention?
Because you're so used to getting attention, and you want to see if you can get that attention. Right.
So now that would be another thing. Okay, so, but do you think they even looking at how that person looks, or like, do they care about what they look like at that point, or it's the attitude that just got them?
I think it's the attitude. Wow. I think it's the attitude that got them. I think it's the confidence to walk past you and not say anything to you, even though you're expecting that to happen. Men and women do certain things because they want attention. They want someone to say something to them. And a lot of times, if you don't say nothing to them, or you don't give them the time of day, or you don't, they become more. How do you say it? They become more intrigued.
Well, I
got 50 guys, 50 girls looking at me, 50 guys saying something to me, and he keep walking by me acting like I ain't here. Or she keep walking by me acting like I ain't here.
Hey, well, see, to me, it's I get it, but it's some women that the vanity just be oozing, they don't even give a shit, but I just wondering how that works, but then you kind of explained it to me, but it still doesn't make sense, because you said sometimes it's not even. If you're not even attracted to the person, then now that's going to be that fake love. They're going to fall in love with an attitude, and then that person going to pull something on someone else, and now that person going to be crushed.
Yeah. I agree. Now, some women who just, like you said, just exude confidence and sexuality. They don't have to do anything.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
they don't. They can just get up and walk in the room, and it's, damn. Yeah. By the way, we got another BBG member on the line. My partner, SMC, has tuned in, and I always call out a member that's gonna, put that work in with that iron. So, with that being said, salute. You probably did some push-ups today. If not, you owe me 100 by tonight. Right. Yeah.
Get on it.
Get them in. Yeah. We the push-up, pull-up gang. So, but. Hey, that's pretty much it, man. We were kind of running out of time. We were just talking about basically how a lot of nowadays vanity is leading to exhibitionism almost. really just I look at it like what we've always said, man. I just try to leave the house with a little bit of respect for myself, how I was brought up, and the people in the eyes around me that are looking. You know, I doubt if I'll ever wear those pants that Prince wore. You know, yeah, I doubt if I'm gonna get out there and wear that, or even when I reach my goal in the gym, I don't think I'm gonna be walking around with a fishnet tank top, maybe a wife beater, but no fishnet, see-through, nothing plastic, raincoats and all that with no shirt on and all that, man. You know,
gonna do it.
Yeah, no. But with that being said, man, I'm like, it's okay to have some vanity or some be vain, you know, just be modest with it and be beautiful inside and out. And with that, we're gonna get back at you next week. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Grams leaders CCs, pounds. Close cash, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds of leaders of grams, get your dose up, cut this up, post up, and get dosed up. This for them voted like the moving, make the most of. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates, for them folk they can't relate. I gotta elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that deaf, dumb, and blind. And I ain't hard to find, you can catch me in them trenches. I do the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm relentless for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that true serum hooked directly